The simple marketing hack that transformed my real estate wholesaling business. What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to break down a very simple marketing hack that could easily 10x your real estate wholesaling business. Heck, it could probably 50x if you're not being efficient in your real estate wholesaling business. That most people, most marketers when it comes to the real estate wholesaling business, that they absolutely don't do. I don't understand it, but this is one of the biggest hacks I've had starting out in real estate wholesaling that has absolutely changed my life. And a lot of people, I honestly believe, are looking at wholesaling real estate through the wrong lens. And that's really what I break down today. So before I break it down, do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe, and let's break it down. So I know everybody hears me say the quote, don't blame the market, blame the marketing. And 9 times out of 10, that is always the case. Everyone loves to blame the market on this is why I'm not doing well. And at the end of the day, it is the marketing that is the issue. So let me say this one more time, because repetition is the mother of success. Don't blame the market, blame the marketing. And when I just have a virtual wholesaler, they'll come on the live and say, Zach, my market stinks. I'm in Dallas, Texas. It just, real estate's too crazy here. It's terrible. And then I got someone from San Francisco, New York, like, hey, that's your biggest problem you have in life? And the truth is, most people that have an issue in wholesaling real estate, and they live outside a crazy market. What do I define as a crazy market? Like a huge metro market that has a high ARV. This is like Seattle, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, Miami. If you're pretty much outside of those areas, San Diego I'd put in there too, but if you have a high population and an ARV under 400 to 500 grand, you're pretty much fine. And most people struggle in these type of markets because they don't know what they're doing. And as somebody that wholesales actively in lots of markets all over the country, I see this as the biggest case. One example I give to you is, I know a market here. I actually did a deal in New Hampshire, and this is an average ARV market of 500 to 600,000. And I actually did a JV deal on here. I think I made 15 grand on this deal, but this deal is crazy because the average ARV around it was really high, and a lot of wholesalers weren't doing well. And the guy that was JVing the deal with us, he knew exactly the right market, the right market zip codes to do, and it did really well. One thing I want to break down of how I came up with this hack, that this is kind of how I want to break down the simple marketing hack that I did, was in my local market in Port St. Lucie, Florida, basically on the Treasure Coast. If you really look at it, so I was doing a lot of deals, and me and Rick were doing a lot of deals. And the one thing that really changed for us in the business that we had was, if you really look at all the zip codes I had marketing, it was about 15 zip codes in my local market. And we're going after all of them, direct mail, bandit signs, doing the SMS text blasting, cold calling on those. And I did very well with these. We did very well business wholesaling there. But the one simple marketing hack we did there that changed everything was, we figured out that most of our deals, so what we did is we broke down the last 10 deals we did, the last 15, 30, 40, 50 deals, and we realized that most of our deals were coming from a certain amount of zip codes. And looking back at the math now, if I look back then, the past 100 deals we did, guess what it was? The past 100 deals we did in that local market, I have the stats right here, 80% of those deals, 80% were all from 3 zip codes out of 15. So 20% of the zip codes got me 80% of the deals I got. And these aren't little $2,000, these are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Heck, all of my $100,000 plus deals came from these 3 zip codes. And why was this the case? 20% of my other deals, which we were doing a lot of deals at the time, and we still are doing a ton of deals, more now, but 20% of those deals were from 12 zip codes. And there's a lot more homes in those 12 zip codes. The one thing we started realizing is that, heck, a lot of these deals are in certain areas and a lot of them aren't. There's hot spots in markets. There's hot spots in every virtual wholesaling market. And you got to be going after those quote unquote hot spots. Most wholesalers aren't going after these quote unquote hot spots. And this is causing a lot of issues with them scaling up their real estate wholesaling business and scaling up to the business of their dreams. So you got to understand it's called the 80-20 rule to a point. And I'm not going to apply to all virtual wholesaling markets, but most wholesaling markets in the United States, I don't want to say 80, but I'd say about 70% of all wholesaling real estate markets basically followed the same marketing hack and fundamental that I realized in my business, that most of these deals were all coming from only 20% of the zip codes are getting 80% of the deals. And I have figured out wholesaling in Palm Beach County, all the way north in Michigan, South Carolina, out west too, in the Midwest, and I'm looking at a lot of virtual wholesaling markets. Everyone's really figured this out, the top wholesalers, that most of your deals are going to come from a very small amount of zip codes. And what I want to break down today is, first of all, how I figured out that marketing hack, which I kind of showed you a little more. But what I really want to do is how you can use this marketing hack that helped me so much and how you can apply that into your own real estate wholesaling business. So guess what? When it's your turn to wholesale some houses, you can use the same hack and you can be as efficient as possible. What happened when we did this is we started getting most of our marketing efforts to those 3 zip codes. And guess what happened when we did that? We were able to pretty much up everything by about 30, 40 to 50% more deal volume coming in. And the average margin per deal is actually going up. And we just shifted like, hey, let's do less marketing in these zip codes and increase it more on these. And guess what? Like, what happened there was we had such a huge increase in the amount of deals we were doing. When we implemented new marketing channels, it worked really, really well. And direct mail, we're pretty much blanket everyone on direct mail. So it was not a good test piece there. I'm kind of a mad scientist with this, but like with SMS text blasting, for example, we just started, we more or less cut out those 12 zip codes and we went hard on the 3. And like we were doubling the amount of deals on the SMS. Cold calling is a little different. Probates, we do all the zip codes on probates, but like it was insane the way that we did that. And really what I want to do right now is break down how, like, first of all, we figured out and how you can figure it out the same way. So there's basically 5 key frameworks when it comes to figure out the 80-20 rule for yourself. 80-20 rule actually applies to acquisitions also, because in your acquisitions, when you're speaking to a seller, you only want to speak 20% of the time and have the seller speak 80% of the time. Same thing happens with deals, that 20% of your efforts are going to reap 80% of the results. And this happens with the acquisitions, with the marketing, even with the dispositions, because with my cash buyers, only 20% of my cash buyers buy about 80% of my deals. This 80-20 principle is one of the craziest wholesaling hacks that I figured out that I want to share with you today. This is stuff behind closed doors. You got to pay a bunch of money to learn. And it is definitely one of the biggest things I could tell you that has reaped us one of the biggest results and success possible. So let me break down the 5 frameworks that help me figure this out and how you can figure it out. So number 1, this is the easiest one. This is one you're going to roll your eyes on, but this is the one that helped me the most, is just by doing deals. The reason I was able to figure out the 20% top one for me was I looked at the past 100 deals I did and said, wow, this zip code, this zip code, this zip code. I like, okay, what marketing channel, what marketing channel, what marketing channel, what list. Like I did all the stats on there. And that was really, really powerful for me. Now it's kind of hard for you to do, but like if you do 10 deals, figure out where they're at and it'll help you out a lot. To do deals, you got to mark in all the zip codes and basically see which ones hit, which ones stick. And then you kind of go from there, right? Number 2 here, you got to see what the top wholesalers are doing. And if you can figure out where the top wholesalers are posting their deals online, you can figure out that they're posting like 20 deals a month and all these deals are coming from like 3, 4, 5 zip codes. That's another way you can do it. I love copying the top wholesalers in a virtual market and kind of figure it out. I know a lot of top wholesalers that like wholetailing and like flipping their best properties, which, hey, I'm immune to it too, right? And what I figure out is if it's like 1, 2, 3 homes, right, is like this top wholesaler in, let's say, I don't know, Oregon, right? And I find his market and I figure out like who's the realtor, who's listing the deals, and I figure out the ownership and all this stuff, and I can find their past 50 flips. I'll be like, wow, these past 50 flips, mostly from 4 zip codes, and it looks like it's got really good profits on them. And that's one way you can do it without actually doing the deals, because everyone's like, well, I don't know the deals. Like, how do I find the research? Find the top wholesalers, get very creative on the way you can figure out their information, and it's going to give you a lot of really good results. Number 3, Facebook research, basically the listings on there from other wholesalers, but also what you can do, figure out other wholesalers that are posting deals that work too. But like the biggest one too, I figured out is just talking to cash buyers and researching with them. So like Facebook groups, find cash buyers. I like to network and call cash buyers and say, hey, what are the top zip codes in this market where most wholesalers are getting deals? Where are you liking to buy? And kind of use that for your own help. That'll help you out a lot. Basically, the framework number 4 here is your list criteria is still going to matter when you're doing this. I think most wholesalers really struggle in real estate wholesaling. A lot of wholesalers out here, they'll go complain to me that they did this method, but it didn't work because they were doing high equity in all of them, or they were doing pre-foreclosures and all. Guys, if you're doing a very like niche list, it's not going to do really well. This is more for a broader view of like what zip codes you should be going after on certain marketing channels. This isn't a cure-all be-all. If you just go after 3 zips, you're going to be great. Like, this is just the method to help you out. So what I mean by this is like, if you only have 2 hours a day to cold call 4 days a week, where should you be doing your lists? Like, where are you going to be as efficient as possible? This is a hack to be more efficient. This isn't going to like make you an instant millionaire. You still got to do the work. You still got to talk to the seller. You still got to help sellers out and still take consistent action. But if you actually go out here and consistently try to help a seller out, if you consistently market to those zip codes over a long period of time, you're going to have better results on that than if you did the other 20% on there. Number 5 here is go after the markets and go after the lists that are below the median home price. This happens for all marketing lists, but figure out what your median home price is. I recommend you like go to like Zillow.com, go to like go to Zillow.com, go to your market or county, do the median home price, figure out what that is, 200, 300, 400,000, and just make sure those lists are below that. And that's going to help you out a lot too. Do not do a government list if it's in that 20% zip code, right? Like this is like we're doing SMS tax blasting on like a vacant pre-foreclosure or just like on like a high equity. This sort of helps out where you should put your finite resources, because at the end of the day, you have finite resources in your real estate wholesaling business and you got to figure out what to do with them and where to put them. Your finite resources are your money and your time. So if you can only cold call a certain amount or spend this much on a list, you should probably going after the 20% of the zip codes that give you 80% of the results. And that is honestly the marketing hack I'm telling you today. That'll give you the best results in your real estate wholesaling business. So guys, if you got any value from this hack, this is a hack that really helped me out. Do me a big favor and smash the like button and subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com. This is my free wholesaling course. All my nuggets, tips, tricks, and all of it is all in there. Smash the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Have a blessed one.